Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I got the dead ahead RC water bobber on the block. I actually been doing some work to this boat. I used to run a 90 amp fly color with a 2958 3380 kV in this boat, and it was pretty fast, like 40 miles per hour. So I've actually put a dynamite 6-pole 3650, I think it's 2000 kV, and a 120 dynamite in the boat. We're gonna run 2S and 2S 5200 milliamp batteries, 120C in the boat. Okay, she's gonna freaking haul ass. So I went lower with the kV. So I actually took my steering rack out. All right, I'm about to pull this strut off, and we're gonna move this strut rudder bracket up. All right, so the bottom hole is gonna be filled in. The top hole will be the bottom hole for the bracket, and I'm gonna drill a hole up here. We're gonna notch this little shim I got in there. So I'm gonna move the bracket up basically to where the tip of my finger is. Okay, so this is a 30 millimeter prop. The biggest prop I can run on the boat is 34 with this setup right here. I want to put like a 40 millimeter, maybe a 42. So we're going to move this all the way up here. All right, stick around. I'll basically kind of touch base with you guys throughout the process. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rudder off, okay, and when I go to fill in the holes and move everything up, I'll slow it down. Okay, it's pretty simple. Alright, so I got the rudder off, okay, and I'm basically going to move my strut right here. Okay, that should give me the room, the clearance with the bracket right here to run a much larger prop, okay. And, you know, while I had it all apart, I was actually considering, you know, pulling this out, pulling the stuffing tube out, filling that hole right there in, and installing a flooded stuffing tube. This is a flooded stuffing tube. Okay, this is the motor, forward mounted motor, and then you have a strut on your transom. Okay, and then you have a carbon fiber fiberglass tube that's about, I don't know, 1 inch in diameter. Okay, so you actually, it's flooded. Okay, that fills up with water. You got your stuffing tube that runs through it. It's epoxied right here. And the extra length, the longer the flooded tube, the better. So whenever you want to go up with your height or down with your strut height, you'll be able to, because it's floating in that flooded stuffing tube. Okay, you move your strut up, it actually will settle the boat deeper into the water. You move your strut down, it'll actually get your boat up out of the water. Okay, the only reason I'm not doing it is because I don't have a carbon fiber tube to do it with. You would install a large carbon fiber tube right here, you know, a flooded stuffing tube, man, that would be perfect, so I can adjust the height. But I could do that later on. So I got the surface cleaned up with some alcohol. I drilled out the holes a little bit larger, just kind of oversized the hole because I had like sealant in the hole. Epoxy won't stick to that sealant. I took a real large drill bit and kind of tapered the holes, so my epoxy will have something to kind of sit in, okay, and it won't crack around the edges. All right, so now I'm going to mix up my fiberglass epoxy and fill that hole in, and then we got to modify this bracket, which I've actually already got a line scribed right there where we need to notch it at, so we can move it up on that lip, you know, somewhere in there. I got my epoxy fiberglass mixed up. All right, didn't need much, so I'm just going to kind of put it in that hole. Try to pack it down in there. Sorry about the angle here. I can clean all the excess up with the alcohol on a rag. Alright, so I got it pretty much filled. Okay, it's level. I got some alcohol on my fingers. I got everything cleaned up around it. Just gonna kind of make sure it's packed in there with my finger here. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Alright, clean up any excess I can. And then we'll kind of sand it flush. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting this guy right here. Alright, it needs to go over that seam right there. We'll probably clean up that adhesive right here that he used to put the top side and bottom side together. So I'll cut this to size, and we'll clean up that adhesive where the block's gonna sit. Okay, we can run some big props in this boat now. Yes sir, buddy. I'm blueprinting my little 17 Miss Geico. I'm actually working on the video right now. I started this project this summer, and I just picked it back up. I've actually got a lot of projects going on. Okay, we got the drag boat going on here. Okay, I put my rear skis on. All right, boom, boom, boom. They're not mounted permanently, you know. I'm re-blueprinting the Velez 29. Okay, while I'm blueprinting the little Miss Geico, I figured I'd do both of them. So I got it all prepped up here, basically prepped up, waiting for this to kick off. Okay, so I can sand it and prime it. All right, I got that bracket cut, so it sits over that lip right there. All right, boom, boom, boom. Okay, just gonna stick it on there, boom. All right, and I'm getting my washers, my nuts back on, Loctite them. Ready to roll, ready to roll. Well, don't really need to Loctite them. They're nylon locking nuts, so they shouldn't need to be Loctite. Big B's Boat Lab, huh? Check it out, son. Check it out. I've actually got an Octura 645 on this boat, okay? Look at all the room I got. Oh. All right, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. The whole reason I did this build, you guys, the whole reason I did this, you know, put the low KV motor in so I can run 4S, 2S on each side. Okay, I got the 5200, 135C SMC batteries in. I got the 120 in there, the Dynamite 2000, and I can run some big props on the boat now. Much bigger props than I could run with this, even if I had the room. Okay, now we got the freaking room to run a big prop. All right, so I actually ended up changing out my strut. Okay, originally I was running this one, but it was actually an odd shaped strut. The bar was angled right here, and I could only go up so high with it. So I threw this one on, but like I said, I'm going to run this on my drag boat. Okay, that's going on my drag boat. I got two of them. Okay, so I've actually modified that angle. Okay, I cut a straight edge on it and sharpened it up. That's ready to roll. Okay, all right. And so originally I could only run these three props on the boat. Those were the only three props I could run on this boat. Period, because of the size. That's the only three props I had that would fit the boat without tearing the props all to hell, which I actually hit this one and I had to cut it down, and the boat really wasn't as fast as it used to be. So, oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. So we'll probably try this prop on it. You know, we'll try some big props. This isn't going to be a good prop on it. This M440 and a 642 and a 637, those are going to be good props on here. I'm actually going to put that Oxteen 42 on here, that round ear 1716 we'll try on there. I've got options now. I've got so many, it opened up so many doors. Okay, I got that sanded flat back there. All I got to do is throw a little paint on there to be done. Okay, I flipped the steering arm. It was these right here were coming out on top, and I got permanently mounted easy connector, so I just took the rudder off, flipped it over. It's a straight shot. Boom. It works out perfect. All right, nice and clean. Nice clean look to it. Okay, got everything polished up. All right, here's the inside with the 2S batteries. All right, the only thing I'm worried about is that right there, that coupler right there. You know, I've got a collet, but it's kind of old, so I just finished up soldering the end of this flex cable, so those little screws right there don't like crimp down on the cable and disform the cable. So I soldered the end. Okay, my CG where the batteries are now is right here. It's right It's right there. Okay, I can actually move it back to here, and I can get my CG forward to here. So that's gonna be freaking perfect, son. Oh, I'm stoked. I am freaking stoked. So I actually sharpened up the keel of the boat. Okay, it had like a blunt keel, and there was like a little high spot and then a low spot in it, so I kind of flattened it out and then sharpened it up, made it a little bit lower, thinner profile, sharpened the backs of my steps up, polished all this up. So you know, I'm able to run different props on the boat now, so we could play around with depth, prop depth now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked. So I'm actually going to show you the Timmy boat real quick, okay, with this right here sitting on the back of it. All right, and then I'll let you guys go. Okay, hopefully you guys like the little build. We'll take it out here shortly and give it a test run. I'm freaking stoked. So here's the Timmy boat. So a little bonus for you guys. All right, this is the water bobber we was just working on. This is the Timmy boat from Dead Ahead RC, and I've got the outboard motor kind of stood up on the back there. And I think that'll work. I think that'll work. My son's helping me out. Axel, say hey. Say hey. Say hey. He's about to be 1 year old, so I think the outboard will be perfect. You know, I could put my ESC and batteries kind of up forward, because it's going to be kind of heavy back here with that big block on that outboard. You know, so I think it'll be all right. I think it'll work. It'll be cool, something different, you know.